These are the tools we can use to assess the curriculum. These are for teachers, okay? And the common tool that we use is what we call the pencil and paper strategy. The different ways or different exams, paper pen tests that we conduct, we administer in order to measure the performance of our learners and in order to measure whether we achieved the objectives or not. Okay? Value nyo rin, essay, true or false, examination, the paper pen examination, anything that has something to do with paper and pen. Okay? Oh, what about certain online site work? That's still paper pen. For as long as there's a question and they need to answer whether they typed it, whether they write it using ball pen, pencil, pentel pen, marker. Next is performance-based strategy. And you know about this one. Kasi under K to 12, aside from paper pen test, we also highlight or emphasize performances, performance tasks na tinatawag. Okay? Nano niya kasi itong commercial game Bear Brand, Vilma Santos. If you know the commercial, na yung pag-aaral daw ngayon, hindi na lang tungkol sa sa paper pen test. May performance task na tinatawag. Kaya kailangan daw ng maraming gatas ng Vilma Santos kaya commercial. Have you watched that? Panood nyo?
Yes, sir.
Diba?
Laki sa
Palagi
gatas.
itong TV.
Tama. Okay. In that case, yung commercial na yon, pinag-aralan yun ng gumawa ng commercial because the one who made the commercial knows about performance task. Okay, kaya hindi daw pwedeng papasukin na walang energy ang bata. And it's a big number in the grading system for every subject under K-12 curriculum. Okay, performance. Nanula rin is performance. Of course, it depends on the subject. If it's science, they may have experiment, board. If it's TLE, of course, they need to perform using, kunyari, sa cookery. They may cook. Okay, they may demonstrate on how to cook. For English, performance task, Filipino, ayan, role play. Okay, they will do simulation. That's possible. Okay. Aside from performance-based strategy, ang huwag na naman kalimutan dito sa performance-based strategy is to give feedback. Okay? You give feedback and don't forget to state what you are looking for before they perform. Do not ask them to perform without stating your criteria. That's why we have a rubric, okay, in this activity. For the paper pen test, there's no need for rubric unless your paper pen test or paper pen strategy is about essay type. Sir, yung essay at yung rubric? Yes. In order for the learner to know why he got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Same with performance-based strategy. There should be this set of criteria. Therefore, there should be rubric. Okay, and you present that to your learners. And I repeat, and I would like to highlight, before they present or perform, state your expectations. Sa umpisa pa lang, sabihin nyo na expectations nyo para hindi tayo nagkakaproblema. Okay, because the message is clear kung ano yung gusto mo. Okay, ganun naman sa relationship, diba? State first your expectations for you to know how to adjust, for them to know how to adjust. That's your relationship to your learner. Hindi yung ang pagtapos na yung lahat, nagkamali na sila, dun mo susitahin. Diba? Okay? So there's no room for adjustment. Okay, next. Observational. O hindi naman yung dominant most of the time. Because once we are teaching, we observe. So makana niya yan. Atin check. You just observe. Okay? While they are performing inside the classroom, while they are reciting during discussion, you observe. And based on your observation, you make judgment. Now, if you have poor memory, make an anecdotal record for that day. For instance, who recited, okay, who made a good performance for that day. Like, for instance, in my case, it's impossible for me to remember every day who recites or not. Diba? That's why I'm writing down. I have here my notes. Okay, writing down those names to deliver good questions and good answers in this session. Okay, who try their best to answer my question. So that's what we mean for observational. That's what you need to remember. Hindi yung naniniwala ka sa memory mo. Like, I did that many times. Like, I remember it today. Okay, at that point, I'm very sure that I will remember this data. There's no need for me to write. But after how many days, okay, Tayo nga, di ba, yung may papasok ka sa bahay kasi alam mo may nakalimutan ka. Pagdating mo sa loob ng bahay, hindi mo alam kung ano yung nakalimutan mo. And you don't know why did you enter the house. May mga instances na ganyan. So, do not rely on your memory. Make your record. Okay? An anecdotal record for your observation. Eto ginagamit namin when we give descriptive evaluation. Okay? Aside from that, when we give feedback to the parents, pag dumating yung mga magulang and we give evaluation to the learner, yung tinatawag na descriptive evaluation aside from numbers. Okay? So make sure you you have your anecdotal record for your observations. That's personal communication. Okay, personal communication. Or any rin ako sa tamong private conferences. Like you speak to the child one-on-one. Pwede rin naman by group, small focus group discussion. Pwede rin naman one-on-one. Talking about something. Ito ginagamit madalas for discipline issues. Or let's say for instance, that child is poorly performing in class, you need to have a one-on-one session asking that child about the lesson. Okay? Kasi nahiya siya to answer. The child is very shy, very timid to answer in front of the class. Now, if you have one-on-one personal communication with the child, that's possible. Okay? Next, oral. Ayun, this one. This is a form of assessment. Like when I ask you questions, when I ask you to do a recap, it's a form of assessment. Okay? Oral. And this is this relates to Socratic method of teaching. Like you ask questions, then they will answer orally. That is also a form of assessment. Reflective or reflection, KWL chart. Okay, dun sa dulo may tanong ka. Meron kang question, complete the statement. Today, I have learned that blank. Susulat nila yung learning nila. That's reflective. Or they have their reflection notebook. That notebook will serve as your basis for grading. Kung anong nasulat niya doon, okay, yun yung i-rate natin. And of course, if it's about reflection, yung ibang mga tanong, kung if it's about opinion, I have learned that kung anong nasulat niya, yung natutunan niya, yun yung i-rate mo. Hindi yung dapat yung matutunan. At least you have an idea what are the things that are still needed to be learned. Okay? So that's what they call this one, reflective. And of course, number 7 is the combination of strategy o yung tinatawag nating eclectic approach. Combination of any of those strategies. And that's what we do when we teach. Okay, that's what we do when we assess. Lahat yan. Mag-observe ka. You talk to your learner. You do paper pen test. So you see, you cannot go away with any one of this. I think kahit na maging digital pa ang ating learning in the future, we cannot go away with paper pen examination. That conventional way of assessment. Kailangan pa rin kasi. Okay, na-develop that in the future, we don't know, baka madagdagan itong mga assessment strategies na ito. Okay. For this one, the objective type. At the types of tests to measure knowledge, process, and understanding. Okay. O siya, I'll give my insights about this one. For fill in the blanks, enumeration, identification, up to number 4, these are objective type. Ito namang isa subjective type, the essay type of test. Okay? And under essay type of test, dalawa yan. Yung restricted type, okay, and then the extended response item. When you say restricted type, you have specific answers that you want them to provide. Kunyari, essay type of test. How, please, kunyari, this is the statement. State the steps to cooking tinola. Restricted type yata because there are specific ways on how to cook tinola. Kunyari, TLE teacher ka. Pwedeng opinion mo. Itong sulat da. Alang, ating opinion, yung pamagluto. Okay? Ala, if these are specific steps that you are asking them to do, that essay type of test is restricted. So, sir, bala mas masakit yung restricted kaysa kaya extended? Yes, because restricted is exact, specific. Okay? For some questions I gave in online seat work or yung mga essay type of test na binibigay ko, it's restricted. Kaya mapapansin nyo, there are specific answers that I want to see in your answer. Pero kung yan ay extended response and asking for your opinion, okay, it may vary. Answer may vary depending on the culture of the person, the background of the person, the possibility of the person. Kaya kapag mga story, eto ha, I'll give you an idea. Kapag mga story ang ating pinapresent sa mga bata, and then you're asking them about the lesson, okay, about the mood of the story, it may vary. Do not stick only to one mood. Do not stick only to one lesson or what's the impact of the story to them. Kasi pwedeng mabago yan. Pwedeng positive sa isa, pwedeng negative sa isa. Kunyari, ang parol. Kunyari, ang kwento ay tungkol sa parol. Eh, may parol doon. And then you use the picture of parol. What do you feel about this picture? Ayaw mo kunyari. And the one child, of course, you expect that everybody will be happy about parol. But there is this one child who answered that it's sad. Okay, he remembers about her father dying, okay, during Christmas season. Ayun, yung parol. That's possible. Yun ang mood dating sa kanya ng parol or lantern. And that is acceptable. Sasabihin ba natin na mali ang pakiramdam niya? So be careful about that when you're asking about that. Sa atin na mga objective type of test, okay, memorization yan. It's about memorization. Pero be careful when doing this one. It's about memory. So valuing na if these are the types of assessment you give, it's about recall. Okay, the ability you want them to develop is to recall about the concept. Next, for alternative response test, okay, alam niyo naman ang alternative response test. True or false. True or false type of test. It's either true or false, modified, kaya naman yung what do you call this one? Matching type, that's also part number 4. Okay, perfect matching type and imperfect matching type is defining. Ang problema dito, pwedeng manghula ng sagot. Okay, yung numbers 2, 3, and 4, pwedeng manghula ng sagot. But here's the suggestion. The more options, the lesser the chances to guess. Kunyari, sa multiple choice type of test, kung 3 ang pagpipilian, meaning to say, they have 33% chance na hula yung sagot nila. Kasi at dula 100 divided by 3. Kung 5 ang pinagpipilian, your choices, 20% chances only, mas mababa. Okay, that the answer is a guess. Unlike in fill in the blanks, pwedeng manghula pero less chances na hinulaan yung sagot. Okay? Kasi walang pagpipilian. Kaya ni kasing 2, 3, and 4, meron tayong tinatawag na luck. Okay? L-U-C-K. Pwedeng gumamit ng swerte-swertihan dyan. Bilang tinayala mo. They gambled na yes, they may, and they may state the correct answer. So yun yung iniiwasan natin. Okay? For multiple choice test, madaling gawin. Madaling i-check itong type of test na to. Same with yung nasa taas. True or false, paper pen test, strategy, madaling mag-check. Kaya lang mahirap gumawa ng mga tanong. Kabalik na rin nung sa essay. Madaling gumawa ng tanong, mahirap mag-check. Okay, for multiple choice type of test, another suggestion, include among the choices those responses given by your learner na mali during the time that you raise the question during the session. Okay, kunyari pinag-usapan nyo ang mga bayani. Okay, nagtanong ka sino ang pambansang bayani. May sumagot doon na Andres Bonifacio during the session. Okay, oral session ha. Sa test, isama mo si Andres Bonifacio to check if they already corrected that concept. Another pa, sa mga pagpipilian, multiple choice type of test, yung length ng sagot dapat pare-pareho, almost the same. Yun. Another pa is the choice none of the above, all of the above. Okay. Though it's not proven, pero according to research, madalas daw, a bigger percentage, majority of the chances, if you have none of the above and all of the above choices, that's the correct answer, but not all the time. Okay. Multiple choice, the choices, they should be of the same length, and then yung none of the above and all of the above, okay, pag ginagamit nyo yun, siguro the suggestion is, do not make it to a point na laging pag nandun si none of the above and all of the above, apin tayong sagot. Okay? Eh, vary. Pwede yun yung sagot, pwede yun yung hindi. Okay, you vary. Pare de baling technique yun. Pag kasi detect din na yung technique yun na tuning all of the automatic, ito yung sagot na. Okay. Ano pa? For multiple choice type of test, of course, you have your answer key. Ang daling i-check niyan. Ako ang ginagawa ko during examination, after the examination sa public schools, kasi multiple choice, MCQ, multiple choice question ang required sa amin. After the session, I do not check it alone. I check it with them so they will be reminded of their errors. Okay? Pag nagkamali sila ng sagot, I will explain it again. That session is intended for correction of mistakes, not to make them feel wrong about their answers, but to make them feel that there should be something that be corrected, to be corrected in their answers. And that they will remember. Sabi ko nga sa inyo, kahit 100 items yan at 99 ang tama mo, yung isang mali, yun ang pinakamatatandaan mo. Matching type. Pag sinabi perfect and imperfect, for perfect matching type, the number of the items in column A is the same as the number of the items in column B. So kung 10 yung ating items sa column A, yung items na pagpipilian, 10 din. Kaya ka perfect. Okay? Unlike dun sa imperfect, nagpapasobra ka ng choices dun sa column B. Kung 10 yung item dun sa column A, you have 13 choices in column B. So meron 3 maiiwan, kahit na masagutan din 10, may 3 maiiwan na choices. Okay? What's the use of that? O value naman syempre pag atinang metaga na metong apin na ita, di ba? So the point of imperfect matching type is for that remaining one answer to have another option. Okay? Kumbaga, isa na lang yung natitira, may 3 panggulo pa. So 4 pa rin yung pagpipili. Again, lesser chances of guessing because they really need to think. For the essay, I already explained restricted and extended and the use of rubric. Okay. Ito naman, for performance strategy. Kanina, remember, the assessment strategy at intang performance-based, diba? Okay, for performance strategy, these are the tools na pwede mong gamitin. For checking, you may have a checklist, rating scale, and rubrics. Okay? For checklist, napakadali lang ito. Yung yes or no checklist, like the performance showed quality in terms of props. And then merong column dun sa side dalawa. Yes or no. I-check mo lang siya nun. Kaya nga checklist. Okay? So, sir, ali a number. Bilangan mo kantay ng pila niya yung yes ay kwana. And then itang parts and no. The purpose of that is to identify the areas of improvement. Not to give quantitative rating, but more on giving feedback. Yung checklist na yan. Okay? Madali siyang gamitin kasi yes or no lang. Katulad nung sa the questions that we raise for curriculum evaluation for intended, achieved, and implemented curriculum. Okay? Yes, correct. Okay? So, di may mga tanong doon, do learning objectives match checklist yon? Okay? If you are going to assess the curriculum, sagot mo lang doon, it's either yes or no. Okay? At bakit siya tinawag na checklist, sir? Kasi siya-check lang. Okay? That's why it's checklist. Okay. Rating scale. Of course, you know rating scale. Yung may mga legends sa taas. Pag 5, excellent. 4, this one, very good. 3, okay. Then nilalagyan ng katumbas na number yung descriptive evaluation or descriptive judgment. Na kung excellent siya, sa mata mo, it's 5. Kung very good siya, it's 4. Kung good, it's 3. If it's fair, it's 2. If it needs improvement, it's 1. Alam ko pa naman ikit 0 yung rating scale. Basta't may perform niya tinang 1 tambing matik tinalakad yan eh. Okay. And you know about rubrics, of course. Walang hindi nakaalam sa rubric sa inyo. Nakakita na ng rubric?